Alright, this is just gonna be a quick, I guess, update video. I've rewatched my last video that I made. It was a while ago. It was probably like 9, 10 months ago. But I'm basically just gonna say some things that I've learned on my nutrition journey, and yeah, just update you, and also maybe correct a few things that I said in my last video that I don't really agree with anymore. So yeah, first things first. When I made my last video, I basically said that um cravings weren't normal because I was under eating and I was had a lot of cravings, but that was just because I was under eating. And you will still get cravings on this diet no matter how long you've been on it if you under eat, because your body's just going to be telling you to get energy in now. And if it sees food, no matter what it is, no matter if it's healthy or unhealthy, even if it's like something that's not really appetizing, like vegetables, it'll still probably just tell you to eat it because it wants energy badly and it almost feels like it's dying if you're malnourished. So yeah, so there's that. That's one thing. However, recently, since my last video, I've become aware of the fact that cooking of meat is extremely, extremely detrimental. On a diet like this, you have to really be focusing on the micronutrients that you're getting, and obviously making sure you're getting enough, like I said in my last video. But making sure you get enough of the right thing is also very important, and cooked meat is not the right thing. It is very, very unnatural and quite harmful for your body also. But the main issue with it is that you lose a lot of micronutrients, and nutrients are, at the end of the day, what your body wants. That's why you eat food, is because it wants nutrients, it wants sustenance. So yeah, when you cook your steak, for example, well done, you lose like around half of the micronutrients that were originally inside of it when it was just raw. And obviously, that number will vary based on how much you cook it, obviously. So at the moment, I just cook my steak rare or medium rare. It's how most people like it anyway. You should cook your steak rare because you will adapt and you will get over the fear of, I guess, a lot of people don't like having steak rare. They think it's gross. To have bloody still mewing on the fucking plate. But yeah, it's good. It's really healthy, and if you can just eat it raw, if it's from a good source, eat it raw. You'll, as I was gonna say, you'll just get over the fear of that, and you'll get over the taste. It might not taste good at first because it's different. Your body's not used to it. But once your body associates that taste with lots and lots of nutrients, vitamins, minerals, all that good stuff, then you'll get positive reinforcement, and it'll start to taste really, really good. So the only reason I really cook my steaks nowadays is because I buy it from the grocery store and I don't trust it fully to eat it raw. And I also, it's a good vehicle to add fat. I cook it in beef tallow, which is a good way of adding fat because the steaks, like even the fattiest steaks you get at the supermarket, still I don't believe have enough fat in them. Like our ancestors would have been eating megafauna, very, very fatty buffalo, mammoth, things like that, very, very fatty. That's what we would have been thriving on for millions and millions of years. So you need to be getting a lot of fat in, and if you think you're getting enough, maybe just have a little bit more. Um, yeah, so that's the only really reason I cook my steak at the moment. Just basically sear it on the outside and eat it raw in the middle. But so yeah, that's the main thing that's changed since my last video. Um, in my journey. So yeah, that's basically it. I did also want to touch on fruits. I believe that fruits can be consumed seasonally if you need them. If you can get them like good. And what I mean by good is in their natural form. The fruits that we have in the supermarket nowadays, I'm sure a lot of people in the carnivore community would know that they are not actually how nature intended them to be. They're very, very different, and that's due to human intervention. Um, yeah, like selective breeding, crossbreeding. I'm not going to get into it, but basically, that they're not natural, and humans basically genetically modify the fruits to be sweeter and brighter, like in color. So any form of human intervention is really going to just mess up your health. So I would steer clear. If you can find fruit like that grows naturally and in season, you should only ever be consuming fruits during the summertime. I think it's around 8 to 12 weeks out of the year that they actually would be growing. So it's only the time that our ancestors would have been eating. They only would have been eating them to get fat anyway. That's what they're for. Kind of like bears before they go into hibernation, eat a lot of fruits and nuts and stuff to get fat, so that they can survive in hibernation off their fat stores. That's what we would have done as well. Eating fruit in the summertime when it was available, so we could put on a little bit of fat because insulin is spiked when you eat fruit, and insulin is a fat storage hormone. That's what makes you put on fat. So yeah, so put on a bit of fat in preparation for the winter, which would have been a lot more scarce. Would have had to hunt and things and gather meat, which is not always the most reliable form of food. So that's why, or in the wild at least. So yeah, it wasn't always there. So yeah, I think fruit can be consumed seasonally. I think it's fine, honestly, even if you eat it all at once and spike your insulin. A lot of people on the classic carnivore diet would disagree with me on that. They think that all sugar is bad and you should only be eating meat all year round. You can eat meat all year round. I think that's very, very healthy and optimal. However, fruit should not be fit. In nature, if our ancestors found a fruit tree or something like that, they would eat it all and they would have spiked their insulin because that's energy. At the end of the day, in the wild, it's all about a game of energy. So if you if you if you find something, you take it because we're opportunistic by nature. So same with honey, like honeycomb, it would have been very rare and very hard to get. But yeah, yeah, like these things every now and then in season, eaten with the sun on you as well. Fruits, when you eat fruits with the sun on you and you're grounded, meaning your feet are in the earth, the ground, grass, actually changes how you digest them. You're getting UV and you're grounded. That actually changes how you digest these fruits, and it allows you to digest them and absorb them a lot easier. I believe it. Your insulin, you're a lot more insulin sensitive, I believe. Um, so yeah, that is basically it. That's basically what's changed. I just wanted to update you and hopefully give you some more advice. I'm learning along with you, and yeah, just that's it. Thank you.